The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Thursday, March 18th, where your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing good, Kristian. It's another fun day and another good episode, I'm sure, coming our way today. How are you doing?
I'm good. We were out yesterday. A couple things that we needed to get taken care of, but we are back with a live show today. We've got a brand new show tomorrow. There will be a best of on Monday, but we'll talk about that when we get there. In the meantime, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question from my co-host. Tony, if you were to buy an item, what item would you not want to buy counterfeit?
Oh, that's a good question. That you don't want to buy counterfeit. Well, there's a lot out there. I know, like jerseys. There's a lot of counterfeit jerseys. There's even counterfeit Funko Pops now too. So you gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. I would have to say, I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't know what I wouldn't. If you're gonna pay good money for something, I would say some type of memorabilia. You don't want to buy, you collect like sport. Like I collect the Funko and the sports stuff. I wouldn't want to buy a counterfeit one.
All right, fair enough. Well, Kansas City feds nabbed $500,000 worth of counterfeit Mahomes jerseys, designer bags, and Botox. Ugh.
Whoa.
On Monday, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection announced a jaw-dropping haul of seized counterfeit merchandise entering the United States through Kansas City. Agents found dozens of knockoff Patrick Mahomes Kansas City Chiefs jerseys, phony Louis Vuitton handbags, needle kits, and fake Botox kits. Criminals are constantly trying to flood the market with the counterfeits, said Steve Bansbach with Customs and Border Protection. To go ahead and get the money, that's all they're after. During a 28-day span from February 15th to March 15th, federal officers conducted a counterfeit sweep called Operation Stop the Flow. Boy, that sounds like a tampon drive. Officers inspected Officers inspected 952 shipments of air cargo at Kansas City International Airport and additional cargo facilities for companies like DHL and FedEx. The vast majority of the shipments came from places like China, Hong Kong, and other locations in Southeast Asia. Officers made 25 seizures, which included 469 counterfeit NFL jerseys, 163 knockoff designer women's handbags, electronics, needle kits, and Botox. So now you may be very dangerously injecting yourself with something that may have catastrophic ramifications, Bansbach told Fox 4. Trafficking in counterfeit merchandise is not a victimless crime, Bansbach added, particularly when phony NFL apparel or high-end bags cut into the bottom line of major companies. And when the company goes ahead and looks at the revenue and they see a loss, what are they going to probably do? Well, they're probably going to fire some people, Bansbach said. So goes to show, don't buy counterfeit, don't buy knockoffs, definitely don't buy counterfeit Botox.
Yeah, the Botox.
Injecting yourself.
Oof. I've only really seen the jerseys is definitely rampant, man. You see those all over the place. You always see People selling them at flea markets, everywhere you go. I think the Jersey one is the most rampant one I've seen. But unfortunately, there's a lot of things out there. There's, counterfeit video games, just all kinds of stuff.
My favorite are the action figures.
Baitman, Spaderman.
Exactly.
Yeah. a lot of bootlegs, man. A lot of bootlegs.
Exactly.
You remember back in the day, JJ's Ear Candy, Video Madness, in Carson City, they had they always had those random CDs. Like there was Metallica, the Bay Area Thrashers, which I have hanging on my wall. I actually still have that CD, but it was just a bootleg, some BS copy somebody burned, and they sold it. They just printed the artwork and just sold it for freaking mass cash. It was like $20 a pop.
Yeah. Oh, I
remember buying that. Yeah. Like that's how you got Garage Days originally.
The original one. Yeah.
Yeah. It was bootlegs, man. Bootlegs.
Yeah, and counterfeits are everywhere. Now, where they were saying that it'll hurt the bottom line of certain companies, I don't think the NFL's hurting too much based on the knockoff jerseys. I think they're making quite a bit of money, but still probably best to stay away, even quality-wise. You're not going to get the same quality as a genuine product.
Yeah, and also, if it was hurting the bottom line, what it does is they're not going to... I don't think they're going to fire the people for that. It's not going to put them out of business, but they might raise the price of the stuff, though.
Exactly. Well, folks, it is Thursday. We have a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
The third day. All right. Monday, 1 day. Tuesday, 2 day. Wednesday, when? Huh? What day? Thursday. The third day. Okay?
It is Thursday, the third day, and as we do on Thursdays, we take a look at America's penis and the strange things that happen down there. Yes, we're talking Florida, man. We have a segment called Unwritten Rules. Our call-in topic today is Best Behind-the-Scenes Featurette. We have a segment called Hippocratic Oath. We round out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we have a little thing that we like to call the Fenix Line. It is our 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you tried knockoff counterfeit Botox. We want to hear about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, speaking of entertaining, Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, March 18th, and here's your Filippo Fast 5. Oh, NBC cancels World of Dance after 4 seasons. Ooh. Amazon's Jack Reacher TV show will adapt one book for every season. So if you're a fan of that, something to look forward to. Tiger Woods will return to video games, this time with PGA Tour 2K series. He used to be a part of the popular EA series for a long time, up until a scandal, then he got let go. Well, now he's getting his redemption tour.
Well, he's not going to be returning to real golf anytime soon.
No, unfortunately, he just got released from the hospital yesterday. So, yeah, it's going to be a long road of recovery there for him as well. LeBron James becomes part owner of the Boston Red Sox. He joins Fenway Sports Group as a partner. So, yeah, that's what you can do when you have a ton of money. You can own a team, especially Boston Red Sox, man. That's huge. Long time franchise there. Disney begins a production on live action Peter Pan and Wendy, due on Disney Plus 2022. And lastly, and sadly, Sabine Schmitz, the pioneering female racer who served as a presenter on Top Gear. She was the only female winner of the 24 hours of, oh man, I'm going to butcher that. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's not what it says, but we'll go with that. She passed away. Schmitz passed away at the age of 51, having revealed last year she was diagnosed with cancer. So sad news there. But that's your Filippo Fast 5. And here is the entertainment portion of that. We'll start in the world of movies. And Venom Let There Be Carnage has had its release date delayed yet again. I was hoping to say it got moved up. Sony Pictures moved its Venom sequel from its release date of June 25th, 2021 to fall date of September 17th, 2021. The delay marks the latest big tentpole film the studios has repositioned this year. Sony already moved James Bond No Time to Die back to October 8th. Universal pushed back Fast and the Furious film F9 to midsummer. And at the end of January, Disney delayed a major part of its 2021 film slate until later this year. When Universal moved F9 to June 25th, we were one of the first. Well, I am Ron Burgundy, and I am reading this article. The article said, we were the first ones to ask, would Venom Let Their Carnage make space for F9? Well, the answer is yes. The new September release date is going to be a conspicuous one for a lot of movie fans. September is not typically the window of opportunity where most studios place their strong films for big fall box office. That typically starts in October. September has traditionally been a dumping ground for film studios that don't have a lot of confidence in. And at the end of summer, fall transition back to work school usually results in a box office slump. Ironically enough, Venom 2 was slated for release in October 2020. Then it was pushed to June, but now September. Of course, with it hitting in September, I don't think that's a bad thing because they say it's a slumping month, but we've been in a slumping year. So it really, I think at this point, it's throwing darts at the dartboard to see if it's going to be a success or not. On another movie note that doesn't have to do with this, I did read that Black Widow is going to be a last-minute decision. They're holding strong on it, but that could change all the way up to the release date. So
let's hope not.
Yeah, it's fingers crossed it sticks. But what do you think? Do you think September a better move for Venom?
I don't know if it's a better move. I just like the fact that it's still in 2021. They didn't move it back another full year. And like you said, I think at this point, it doesn't matter when it comes out, what time of year. It's not a traditional box office type of year where, you start getting the summer movie season in May, and then it dies off around August, then pops back up again in October, and then big in December again. They're just going to release movies as they come. And if it's a movie I want to see, I'm going to go to the theaters to see it.
Yeah. Dude, this has been a long drought. The last movie I saw was with you and Jimmy, which was Wonder Woman 84. That's the last movie I saw in theaters. And before that, it was Freaky, which was like back in October. So I've been on a massive movie drought in theaters. So
it's been a while, yep.
But sad stuff. But we'll go on from movies to TV. And Pat Sajak has kind of been the topic of some controversy lately. Maybe a staple of having worked the hosted long-running game show Wheel of Fortune for 4 decades. But those working behind the cameras are ready for him to set down the cue cards for good. Following a series of on-air controversies and slip-ups, producers are said to be eager for Sajak to take a break. Speaking to OK Magazine, the source alleged the producers are ready for Sajak, who's 74, to step aside and allow somebody else to take the hosting duties. Producers reportedly feel that Sajak just hasn't been the same since he underwent emergency surgery to correct a block in intestine in late 2019. During his time away from the show, amid his recovery, the source said producers want him to take at least a break from the show. They're hoping they'll pull him out of this terrible tailspin. The report comes after some have viewed troubling several months on the game show for Sajak. In November 2020, he faced criticism after he called the contestant ungrateful, a remark he apologized for later in the episode, telling the contestant, "I'm sorry I yelled at you. I just don't remember your mother giving us trouble like you did." Just a month later, in December 2020, he faced backlash after he chastised a contestant who interrupted him during a sponsor plug, telling the contestant, never interrupt the plug. You can do anything else, but don't interrupt. In February of this year, Sajak again found himself a controversy from viewers after he mocked a contestant's speech impediment, Sajak stating IV instead of IC, seemingly mocking a lisp. So he said, I see. So many of these moments have gone viral on social media and have prompted fierce backlash, with some declaring that Sajak's sarcasm is offensive. Others have requested the host to be please kinder to your contestants. What happened to you? Well, he turned heel. It's like wrestling. He's been a good guy forever. He turned bad, right?
I don't know. He's 74. I think he's at that get off my lawn stage where it's
yes.
Crap.
I just don't think he has time for people's BS, and we are going through that be nice to everybody era, which is weird, and I just don't think he cares. I think he knows he's on the way out here in the next couple years, so I don't think it has anything to do with him like having trouble outside of life. I'm with you. I think it's just that he's old school and he doesn't put up, like, it's simple. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very simple. I think that's just him maybe being funny. I don't think it's too mean, but.
And he's been doing it for nearly 40 years now. So, I cut the guy a break. He's got a couple years left, if that. Let him retire. He's got a ton of money. It'll move on. Wheel of Fortune will be played for another 100 years, I'm sure. But
absolutely.
Everybody's overly sensitive at this point.
Absolutely. Well, someone who's not oversensitive and is not quite to the get off my lawn stage, Eli Manning, who retired from football last year, is going to be doing something very similar to his brother Peyton. Manning announced that he would be hosting his own college football-centric show on ESPN Plus called Eli's Places. Very original. It's very similar to his brother Peyton. which that just got re-upped for a third season. What he'll be doing is he'll be going back to tell college football stories. So he'll be doing the same thing pretty much Peyton does, just in the college level. So the Eli, so the sports world has definitely been all about it. Congrats. But Eli, he does have some humor. He's not as funny as his brother Peyton, but this might put a good spotlight on the world of college football. But that will be coming out this fall. Something to look forward to. Is this something you'd be interested in?
No, not whatsoever. Yeah, Eli in interviews, he's basically Peyton without the personality. It's like watching a brick wall talk. It's not enjoyable.
So definitely you will not be watching. No. Let me ask you, Kristian, do you still go to Pizza Hut? You ever eat at the Hut?
Every once in a while I will get a craving for it. I rarely go. I'll sometimes order it in, but maybe once a year I'll be like, you know what? I wonder if Pizza Hut's still as good as I remember. And it never is.
Well, maybe this might entice you to come back. Pizza Hut has announced a promotion featuring a new Pac-Man augmented reality game. For a limited time, Pizza Hut's $10 Tastemaker will feature an exclusive box that allows players to enjoy the AR game on their phone. While the tie-in would be neat of its own, players could submit their scores for a chance to win an exclusive Pac-Man cabinet from Arcade 1-Up. The cabinet's exterior will feature exclusive Pizza Hut-inspired graphics, including the classic logo, chandeliers, pizza slices meant to evoke Pac-Man. One grand prize winner will be selected. The promotion kicks off today, and it runs through March 26th. So you can win a sweet old-school Pac-Man Arcade 1-Up, and all you got to do is go to Pizza Hut, get yourself a $10 Tastemaker, play the game on your phone, and there you go. That's all you have to do.
I might give it a shot.
All right. Well, I probably won't, but I thought I'd share just because it was fun. That is it for the entertainment news. Let's roll on to those celebrity birthdays, shall we?
It's my birthday!
Oh, it's a lot of birthdays today. In fact, it's singer and guitarist for the band Maroon 5. Adam Levine is 41. Golden Globe actress who was nominated for an Academy Award, Best Supporting Actress in the film Chicago. She starred in Fox's Living Single in the 90s, Bringing Down the House, Girls Trip, Hairspray, and now The Equalizer. Queen Latifah is 50. Stand-up comedian who was the first to use social networking websites such as MySpace to amass a giant devoted fan base. He's one of the top stand-up comedians. He starred in Good Luck Chuck, Dan in Real Life, My Best Friend's Girl, and Employee of the Month. Dane Cook is 48. He doesn't do much anymore, does he?
Nope.
Television personality, best known for hosting the popular Discovery Channel Dirty Jobs, also a pitchman for the Ford Motor Company, Micro, 58, and guitarist, songwriter with the grunge band, rock band Alice in Chains. He also pursued a solo career. Mr. Jerry Cantrell is 54. Happy birthday. And that's it for March 18th. That's celebrity news and birthdays. Woo!
Right on. Well, that does do it for the entertainment news. When we come back, we explore America's penis and the strange things that happen down there. One of my favorite segments of the week. It is time for Florida Man.
Florida Man!
We'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Phoenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, you can. I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Phoenix Media Radio. Tony is available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now it is Thursday, and as we like to do on Thursdays, we like to explore America's penis and the strange things that happen down there. Yes, it is time for Florida Man.
Oh, good for you. Florida man, doing crazy stuff that they can. Let's go down somewhere into Florida where Florida man claiming people were eating his brains led to a police chase on an insane golf course chase. Here we go. 29-year-old Jesse Webb got behind the wheel of a stolen community watch vehicle when he commandeered from a neighborhood supervisor responding to reports that Webb was running around shouting that people were eating his brains out. Well, I guess better than effing them. After hopping behind the wheel, Webb swerved across several backyards before veering onto the grounds of Orange Blossom Hills Golf and Country Club. Two cruisers gave chase to Webb. Oh, man. He weaved in and out of carts and players that later scrambling, dumbfounded to get out of the way. If you thought getting up and down from a fairway bunker was hard enough, just try doing it with Florida man bearing down on you in a stolen SUV. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and Webb was eventually apprehended after taking the chase into town, slamming into a side of a nursing home, again, Florida, and attempting to escape on foot. Orange Blossom Hills wasn't quite so lucky, however. Reports sustaining thousands of dollars worth of damage in the chase. Webb zombies, meanwhile, remain at large.
Has the planet gone mad?
Oh man, that was a good one.
Did he think the zombie apocalypse was coming? People were eating
God,
his
they're
brain?
coming! They're gonna eat my brains! Thor! Oh, I don't know. I would have actually liked to have seen that while I was in Florida. I did not. But a Florida man was arrested on Monday and charged with assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill after he threw an alligator through a fast food chain's drive-through window. Joshua James, 24, threw a 3.5-foot alligator through a Palm Beach County Wendy's drive-through 4 months ago, according to Florida Fish, Wildlife, and Conservation. He was charged with illegally possessing an alligator and petty theft. A report that James drove his pickup truck through the window about 1:20 a.m. on October 11th. An employee handed James his drink. He tossed an alligator through the window and sped off. Here's your Dr. Pepper, sir. Here's Leatherface. Yeah! No one was hurt, and Guerin captured the alligator and released it into the wild. James was finally tracked down through video surveillance and purchased at the neighboring Hood convenience store. Guerin wrote that James admitted to throwing the alligator in the window. He said that James told him he had found the alligator on the side of the road and put it in his truck. The Palm Beach Post noted that James faces a third-degree felony charge for possessing the reptile. If he is convicted under that particular charge, he could face up to 5 years in prison. Wow, don't grab alligators, kids. In his court appearance Tuesday, he was ordered to stay clear of all Wendy's restaurants to avoid possessing animals aside from his mother's dog, to undergo mental health, and refrain from possessing any weapons. He was later released on a $6,000 bond. Wow.
What's he going to do for a Dave's Double now?
Yeah, he's screwed, man. Not welcomed, man. I hope that Wendy's roasted his ass on their Twitter page. That'd be awesome.
They're so good at that.
I don't know if they did. We're going down to Martin County, Florida. The sight of a man wearing a thong was all a Florida homeowner needed to call the Martin County Sheriff's Office last month. Deputies arrested 31-year-old George Blanken on March 12th. That's this month, silly. An arrest report reviewed by TC Palm said the homeowner saw him building a shed and throwing chairs. The trespasser was wearing a swimsuit and then a thong, the report stated. Responding deputies said they found a man on the property who was not wearing a shirt or shorts, and he was covered with sand as if he had just been at the beach. The man was arrested but refused to identify himself, as the county jail authorities used fingerprints to confirm Blanken as the suspect. He stated he was an artist to make things from garbage, the arrest report. Blanken faces charges of giving a false name and obstruction without violence. My thought, it's art. It's a skirt. It's called a skart.
It's a mankini.
It is a... let's go down to Melbourne, Florida, where a drunk Florida man thanked a good Samaritan who gave him a place to stay when he couldn't get home by peeing all over his bedroom and then attacking him. Oh, that's a... Thanks for letting me stay in your house. Ah, psst. The victim said he was at a party downtown Melbourne and on Saturday when he met Colin Geeb, who described as a friend of friends. Geeb, 23, was drunk, didn't have a way to get home, and couldn't provide his address, so the victim took him back to his place so he could have a safe place to be. It's a bad idea. The victim allowed Geeb to sleep in his room, and he went to sleep in another room for the night. Sunday morning, the victim heard noises from the house and found Geeb peeing everywhere in the room. I swear that was not me. I would be the one probably doing that to you, except I wouldn't attack you. According to the affidavit, police said the victim repeatedly asked Geeb to leave, but Geeb wouldn't, and he instead became upset and turned violent. He came at me with his penis out and attacked me, the victim said. Geeb, who is 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, and a micro PP, punched the man multiple times and attempted to choke him and pushed him into the wall before the victim was able to wrestle Geeb out of the front door and call police. When asked about the incident, Geeb said, "You heard the whole story. There's nothing I need to tell you. Why am I here?" Police said they found blood on the front door hole in the walls of the room saturated with urine. Geeb of Melbourne was arrested on charges of battery, indecent exposure, and property damage. just goes to show, man, you just can't open your doors for people like that, man.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
that was wild.
I'm glad I've got the two pitties here because there's been some sketchy people who've come to the door before. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't let them in.
Nope.
We're going to go down to New Smyrna Beach, Florida. A man set fire to his hospital bed in an attempt to get the attention of nurses because he felt they were ignoring him. John David King admitted to using a lighter to set a plastic bag on fire at the hospital at New Smyrna Beach on Saturday. He didn't intend to hurt anyone, but he was upset. He felt nurses were ignoring him when he asked them to bring his clothes. King had been admitted to the hospital for respiratory failure. King's roommate, Samuel Moreno, told him to put out the fire, but King relit it instead and flames erupted. Moreno pressed his emergency button and a nurse came to douse the bed with a fire extinguisher. Meanwhile, King left the room and made his way to the elevators before he was arrested and booked into the Volusia County Jail on a $15,000 bond. The bed was damaged beyond repair and cost $4,000 to replace. Needless to say, I'm guessing that this dude did not like to ever be ignored in life, and that is an even more expensive hospital bill than it was already intended to be.
You're so
the insurance ain't covered.
You're really dumb. For real.
Exactly, for real. Oh, this sounds nice. Let's go to Niceville, Florida. Responding to a house fire last week, Niceville police officers and firefighters encountered an odd sight. When firefighters got to the home around 5:30 p.m., they could see smoke coming from the inside. A naked man opened the front door and said, "I'm sorry," and closed the door. Police officers arrived shortly to assist. The man came to the door again, left it open, and went back into the house. According to the offense report from the police department, the man showed no signs of understanding the danger he was in. There were several things on fire inside the home, including some towels. An officer detained the man and removed him from the house from his own safety. Firefighters said that if he had stayed in the home much longer, he could have possibly died from smoke inhalation. In the report, an officer said he and another officer were in the house for about 5 minutes and had a hard time breathing. Firefighters went in with an oxygen mask to remove the burning items. The man admitted to drinking 2 liters of vodka, smoking marijuana starting at 9 a.m. He was examined at the scene and had no life-threatening injuries. The report said he refused further medical attention. Based on the fire department's investigation, the man allegedly tried baking cookies on a George Foreman grill, which he left unattended. The grill and cookies caught fire, so he put the dry towels on top of the grill, which those caused fire too, causing the fire to spread. So, never a damn dull moment with Florida, man, is there? All those crazy stories. There's like infinite amount of stupidity to come from that state.
Which is why it is one of my favorite segments that we do. That does it for Florida, man. When we come back, we've got a segment called Unwritten Rules. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks, to the final segment of the first hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. But do not fret, there is still plenty ahead with our second hour, including our call-in topic of Best Behind-the-Scenes Featurette. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there,
God?
While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. Now, in this segment that I've titled Unwritten Rules, we're looking at unwritten rules to live by. These are little things in life that should go without saying. Tony, anything come to mind as far as just an unwritten rule that everybody should do? For me, it's holding the door open for somebody else. It doesn't matter if they're a guy or a girl. If you're in front of somebody, open up the door, let them come through. If there's people coming in behind you, hold the door open for them. It's just common courtesy.
I was going to say that, but I also, it's usually letting people, typically more times than not, runs into being a, whether it's an older lady, younger lady, like at the grocery store, if they have a few items and you have more, I typically let them go ahead of me, especially if they have, it just to give them the situation. I usually let people go before me on things if it's, if they seem like they're in a hurry and stuff like that. But I do the door opening thing. It's just what you do. Right.
It's funny. Yeah. With my luck, I let the older person, go ahead of me at the grocery store. They're buying one item and then they bust out the checkbook and have to write a check for it. And it always backfires on me. But
luckily that hasn't happened to me yet. So if it has, I don't recall. So,
well, let's go ahead and go through some other unwritten rules. And if you don't follow them, well, I am the law. I am the law. All right.
A Judge Dredd one. I like it.
I know. All right. First one. Again, this should go without saying from user. What the heck is decaf? Says, do not swipe left or right if someone shows you a photo on their phone. Yes, do not do that. If they show you a photo or if they tell you, okay, keep swiping to the left or keep swiping to the right, it's okay. Don't assume you can do that because you have no idea what's on people's phones these days.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny. So I let my little nephew Cullen, he did that when I had Tinder. And he's like, Uncle Tom, what's this? And he swiped right on everything. He just was like, hee. And it's like match. the Fugosauruses, man, they came out the park.
Hey,
and what happens is, man, and I tried to explain to him, like, it's not like, while it's humorous to me because I match, but there are those people that like, oh my God, I got a match. This guy matched with me. And then they message you like instantly. And it's just like, whoa. And me being the nice guy, I don't want to just be a dick and then like ghost them, so you gotta, but in those ones, I don't know them. So it's just like, unmatched, bye. They haven't engaged conversation, so there's no feelings there.
Yeah, luckily you learned not to give them your phone from that point on, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling on. We're talking unwritten rules. I am the law! This from Olaf the Bent says, buy a plunger.
Olaf,
buy a plunger before you need a plunger. For sure. That toilet gets clogged up. You're building mountains in there in the morning, and you don't have a plunger.
Yeah, when Mount Grimace piles up and that son of a bitch wants to overflow, you in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Rubble, no yum yum.
The other thing that people don't realize about plungers these days is they're not like the old school ones where they create a suction. Now they force air. So, I've caught Jesse a couple times trying to suction out things. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. You're trying to force air in there. That's the way the new plungers work. So,
yeah. Super plunger. Woohoo!
Let's keep rolling on. Talking unwritten rules. I am the law! This from Megs and Bacon. Tony, this one should be written on the signs outside the door of Costco. Don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the aisle.
Oh, yeah. Well, there should be traffic signs when you go into Costco, man. There should be like a way to go and a way not to go. People, man, I watched this group yesterday. We'll call them the Gremlins, man. It started out as one person, all of a sudden they had another, and it was like they built the damn wall going down the store. And it was just like, and they're slow. Just blocking the aisles. Like, I want to yell, get the hell out the way! Like, you wouldn't do that on the highway. Don't do that at the traffic aisles at your grocery stores or your Costco's, especially the baskets. Like, you get ditch baskets all the time. All the time.
That's the thing. It's the rules of the road. Walk on the right side. So if you're walking against traffic, you're still on the right side. Go around people. Don't leave the cart there to wander off and grab samples. There's nothing more frustrating than somebody just blocking an aisle with a cart that's unattended.
Oh, yeah. Well, and yesterday was crazy. We actually did samples. They were in bags. They put the little samples in bags and were handing them out. So there was actually samples to be had yesterday, randomly enough. And every time you say rules of the road, I always picture frickin' George Carlin from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Every time you mention that. It's the rules of the road. So, yeah. Excuse me.
Let's keep rolling on. We're talking unwritten rules. I am the law! From user Havu says, if you have to cancel on a friend, it should be your responsibility to reschedule. It makes sense, It's you're the one who canceled. Be courteous enough to reschedule.
Macho Man Randy Savage is not happy with your decision, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to reschedule that. Just it's real simple, especially if you're friends. It's easy to say, hey, today doesn't work, but maybe Sunday. Does that work better for you? I mean, you always want to come with a pitch. There's nothing worse than when you get somebody that's like, hey, do you want to go hang out again? Yeah, cool. When do you want to do it? I don't know. And then when you finally set the day comes, today's not going to work for me. It seemed to happen with that one friend recently, and then kept happening, and still haven't rescheduled. Oh, well.
It's all right. Let's keep moving on. Talking unwritten rules. I am the law! From user Long Live Lazarus. Tony, this one applies to you. Don't propose at someone else's wedding. So when Jesse and I get married, don't you dare propose. I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter.
Hello there.
Oh, I will, man. How
about new?
I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but it sure as hell wouldn't be there because you're stealing. It's not the romantic setting. That's not what you do. That day is about the couple you're there for to celebrate. It's their day. It's their moment. It's their. You don't do anything to steal that shine. Nothing. You go there, best behavior, or if you're drunk and you want to hit on a few bridesmaids, just make sure you do it where it's not distracting from the day.
Makes sense.
Because I saw that with the last wedding I went to, man. There's a lot of drunk groomsmen, man. They were all over the place. It was entertaining.
Stealing the thunder. All right, let's keep rolling on. Talking unwritten rules. I am the law! This one I absolutely believe in. From user Another Social Outcast says, don't ask for something if the person only has one left. Gum, cigarette, piece of candy, etc. If there's one left and it belongs to that person, don't ask for it.
That's just common courtesy right there. Don't. Actually, you should never ask for anything in general. Like,
well, if you and I are hanging out and you pop open like a pack of gum and I see that there's plenty, it would be reasonable to say, hey, you mind if I bum a piece of gum?
You know what I do is if I take gum out in front of somebody, like if I need it, I offer.
That's a great unwritten rule.
I always offer. It doesn't have to get to the point where you ask, But I get it too. If you got some skunk breath and your friend has some gum, I think that's good.
Exactly. All right, let's keep going. We're talking unwritten rules. I am the law! Patrick the Vieira, says, don't look through the effing gap in the bathroom stalls. I absolutely agree with that. There's nothing creepier than sitting on the pot where you don't want to be there anyway. Somebody yanks on the door. Obviously, it's locked, and then you see that eyeball between the gap. It's like, obviously, there's somebody in here.
Yowie, wowie!
Yeah, I hate that. There ain't nothing worse. Dude, that happened at the airport. There was like somebody looking, I go, occupied. Like,
right. What do you expect?
Idiots? Yeah. Good Lord.
Let's keep moving on. Unwritten rules. I am the law! From Tiny Wall says, don't cook fish in the office kitchen. I absolutely agree with that. I used to work in car dealerships where it would be fish or it would be ethnic food that smelled like diarrhea. Don't do it.
Yeah. You don't do that at all. It's awful because if it's potent, everybody has to smell that. It ain't good.
Exactly.
You're eating that, and it might taste good, but woo, buddy, don't smell good. Don't talk to me for about a couple hours till you clean that stank ass breath.
Yep. And then finally, in unwritten rules, I am the law! From Asexel says, leave it in better condition than you found it. I'd say that's always a great rule to live by, especially if you're borrowing something at somebody's house. Just the way to go. Well, with that, folks, that is the end of this first hour of the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are headed into the long break, so enjoy the 7 minutes, listen to the news, take a potty break, grab yourself some tea, and join us back here in 7. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star, and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. To explore our complete lineup of quality programs, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
On Feature Story News in London, I'm Chris Jones. Tanzania's President John Magufuli has died at the age of 61. The country's Vice President, Samia Suluhu Hassan, said in a televised announcement that he had died of a heart condition on March 17th. A 14-day period of mourning will now be put in place. Vice President Suluhu Hassan will take over the role and become Tanzania's first female president. The EU's health regulator will decide what steps need to be taken following reports of bleeding and blood clots in those recently vaccinated with the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. It comes as the EU threatens to block exports of vaccines to any country unwilling to share its own supply. Lucy Hoff has more from Brussels.
The EU's health regulator has been poring over data submitted by national authorities to investigate reports of severe side effects, including blood clotting. There have been around 40 cases reported in Europe, a tiny fraction of the 6 million people who've received the Oxford AstraZeneca jab. It's led to the suspension of the vaccine rollout in the majority of EU countries, including Germany, France, and Italy. That's despite guidance from the World Health Organization, as well as the European Medicines Agency, that there was no proven causal link between blood clots and the vaccine, and that the benefits far outweighed the risks. Lucy Hoff, Brussels.
Germany has recorded yet another major jump in new coronavirus infections, with cases up 22% compared to this time last week. The spike has left lawmakers debating plans on whether to continue with reopening plans or extend the country's lockdown. Trent Murray reports from Berlin.
From next Monday, several rules were set to be loosened, including allowing outdoor dining and opening up cinemas and theatres at reduced capacities. But with Germany's infection rate continuing to spike, those plans have now been thrown into doubt. There's also disagreement between some states over what to do next. Instead of loosening the rules, some states want to reinforce tougher measures to contain new outbreaks, while others suggest another hard lockdown would be disastrous for small businesses. Trent Murray, Berlin.
And Moscow is hosting the latest round of Afghanistan peace talks on Thursday as the US seeks to withdraw. Representatives from the Afghan government, the Taliban, and the United States are all attending. Julia Chapman has more.
The United States is hoping to broker a power-sharing deal between Afghanistan's government and the Taliban. Russia supports that plan, but the Afghan government says the transfer of power must happen democratically through elections. It comes ahead of a planned US withdrawal on May 1st, part of a deal the Trump administration signed with the Taliban. But President Joe Biden has cast doubt on that timeline. Russia has held several rounds of peace talks as it attempts to build its clout as a negotiator in international conflicts. Julia Chapman, Moscow.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Phoenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks, to the second hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, March 18th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Spark. Tony, how you holding up in the second hour?
Doing well, man. Just ready for the fastest hour, ready to keep going and trying out those names. We have the Spark, we had the Savage. We'll find one that sticks here soon, and we'll rebrand it. So we'll see how that all goes. Tony Spark.
Yeah, we'll see what fits, what works well. Obviously, we'll give Tony his own Facebook page, public profile page, because right now, if you try to friend him, he doesn't want to be your friend. He's mean like that.
Yeah, I'm just evil and mean. So.
No, it's his private personal page. And so, we want to give him a public outlet. But, Sanfilippo, a little hard to spell, a little hard to find. So, we're going to give him a radio name. Is it going to be Tony Savage? Is it going to be Tony Spark? Is it going to be something else? We'll find out.
Something else? We'll see you here soon. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Well, folks, this is the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day, which is why we give it 24 hours in advance. And give you a chance to call on the Fenix Line at 855-Phoenix Radio. Of course, you can chime in live on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just click into the live video there and comment on there with your pick. Or, as we've been doing over the last couple weeks, we've got the Stereo app where you can chat live. Just join us when we go live on there over at stereo.com/Phoenix Media. We're still working out a few of the bugs, so don't get too upset if we can't get to your call because we're still figuring it out.
Definitely. It's a lot of fun. You don't know if you're going to get the F-bombs and things like that, but luckily this is internet radio and you can kind of get away with that. So.
Exactly. We're not governed by the FCC, so we don't have to worry about it as much. In any case, today's topic is Best Behind-the-Scenes Featurette. What got me thinking about this is last week, Marvel Studios released a episode of Assembled, which was the making of WandaVision, which was awesome. It was great to see the behind the scenes, how they did it, the live studio audience mixed with sort of the MCU style filming. And I've always loved behind the scenes featurettes. I went to film school and loved the making of and seeing how they did, especially these big budget blockbuster movies, lots of green screen, lots of digital effects. So much fun. And so that's what we're talking about. What is the best behind the scenes featurette that you've ever seen? Tony, I'm going to throw it to you. What is your pick?
I don't have like one in particular like favorite where I'm like, oh my God, that was amazing. What I personally love is, I'm just going to give you a general. I love the bloopers of any movie, especially the Marvels. My favorite and my first go-to featurette before the making ofs is the bloopers. It doesn't matter if you go back and watch like Endgame, Infinity War, anything like that. Just the Marvel bloopers are classic because they cuss and it's just funny to see them screw up or some of the silly things they do. But I've been a fan of bloopers since I think Liar Liar was one of the first ones, because they didn't have behind the scenes. That was just as the credits rolled, and they did all the behind the scenes bloopers with Jim Carrey in them. So I think that's where my love of that started. Like, I sometimes find that to be funnier than the movie, or in the vein of an action flick or something entertaining of that nature. The fact that they could have a lighthearted side is always entertaining. So I'm going to go with bloopers on any of the films we like. If they've got them, that's what you'll find me watching first. And then, of course, the behind the scenes stuff, because it's just neat to see how they do it. But
overactor. Yeah.
Show off.
Bloopers are always fun. I have one sort of serious pick, but what really got me into the behind the scenes featurettes, and of course, it was a big thing that came out with DVDs, because DVDs could hold so much more information than just the movies. You didn't get that with VHSs, but there was a VHS that came out that accompanied From Dusk Till Dawn, the Robert Rodriguez movie that starred George Clooney, Selma Hayek, Quentin Tarantino. And there was an accompanying VHS called Full Tilt Boogie, which was all about the making of From Dusk Till Dawn. And it blew my mind, the fact that there was 2 hours of content all about the making of it, how they did it, the special effects, interviews with the actors, insights with Robert Rodriguez. And I loved it. Before, it was a mainstay on DVDs and Blu-rays and everything that we're used to these days. And of course, it was at the same time that actually right before I was about to head off to film school. And so that was what was just so much fun about it. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, your favorite behind the scenes featurette. Could either be something that had an impact on your life, or it could be something that was just super fascinating. I have another pick that we'll get to after the break if somebody else doesn't bring it up, but want to give you guys a chance. So go ahead and chime in now on Facebook at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio in the live video, or you can prep up that stereo app at stereo.com/Fenix Media. When we come back, it is all about you guys talking best behind the scenes featurettes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
How to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we are smack dab in the middle of the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day. Now, to chime in, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Click into the live video there and comment, or you can join us here momentarily on the Stereo app at stereo.com/Fenix Media, where we play a little stereo roulette, grab people at random, ask them the question of the day, which is, what is the best behind-the-scenes featurette? Now, before the segment, before this segment started, the end of last segment, talked about how mine was an accompanying VHS for From Dusk Till Dawn called Full Tilt Boogie. It was a 2-hour look at the making of From Dusk Till Dawn. Tony mentioned that in general, just the bloopers, when people screw up, make jokes, drop the occasional F-bomb, it's always fun to see, that not everybody is perfect, especially when acting. Now, Tony, I assume that you had a couple people chime in as we normally do. Apparently not.
Not today. No, I did have one from the other day, which kind of ties to it, so I'll use it. But Stacy the other day sent me this picture. Is when they were doing the pod race scene for Star Wars Episode 1. And it's, of course, the built model of, where they do the pod race. And when they zoom in, they got the camera guy coming in. Well, all the fans, how you see all like the crowd and stuff, those were all Q-tips. They were all painted different colored Q-tips, and the fan blew to make them move.
Interesting.
So if you go back and watch it down, it's all done individually by colored Q-tips. That's how they made it. That was their digital effect for that back then. And you couldn't tell. It sure as heck didn't look like it when you're watching it. It looks like a big immersed city you're coming into for the pod race. So I thought that was cool. She shared that the other day. But other than that, surprisingly, no one, I reached out to our normal super fans. No response from Friday. They might be busy today.
It is a very specific question, and guys like you and I who like to delve.
It's not a general one, and it's going to be interesting to see when we go to the Stereo app the reaction we get. We might get a huh, or a lot of hangups. I'm guessing, but
we'll find out. We will see.
We're about to find out. But you have other ones you want to share. I mean.
Yeah, so the other one recently, and this actually kind of goes back to what Stacy was saying, is following the first season of The Mandalorian, there was a series that came out on Disney Plus that followed the making of The Mandalorian in multiple parts, and they dove deep into different aspects of it. Of course, included Jon Favreau, who's the showrunner, executive producer. They talked with the different directors who are part of it. They got some obviously big names to come in, talking with the actors. But the thing that blew my mind was the soundstage that they set up. I forget exactly what it's called, but essentially it is a 360-degree LED video screen. So they didn't have to use green screen at all. What they would do is they would project the backgrounds onto this giant video screen, create these sets inside of that. And when they shot it, it looked like they were actually there on location, even though they were inside of a soundstage. And just how far the technology has come has blown my mind. And, they're using it more and more, but it's something that Jon Favreau pioneered, or at least started pioneering when he made the Lion King live action remake.
Yeah, it's awesome. I did love that about the Mandalorian, just because it really does feel like they went on location to shoot these things. So you would never think it was on a soundstage, and they do so good with that nowadays, which is fantastic. Since we didn't have anyone chime in either, I thought of another one that I really liked, and that was from Back to the Future. I really liked seeing the old Eric Stoltz footage.
Yeah.
For some of that. It's so weird to see somebody else attempt to play Marty McFly, because he was originally Marty McFly due to Michael J. Fox's schedule conflicts. So they shot a lot of it with Eric Stoltz. And what's crazy too is going back and seeing how, the movie we know and love, some of the scenes that were shot with Stoltz still make it into the movie. There's a scene at the mall with him jumping in the DeLorean. Yeah, the Mandalorian. The DeLorean, he jumps in, and that's Eric Stoltz, and then the punch to Biff's face is Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
That still made the movie. So it's cool to see those things that you generally wouldn't see.
And usually it was the shots that were behind, his back of another actor, because it didn't show his face. But that footage is very strange because it gave a whole different feeling and tempo and vibe to that movie. Almost a little more serious, a little bit more dark. Then Michael J. Fox comes in and lightens everything up, and I couldn't imagine it any other way.
No, exactly. I think we've done that as a topic before. Characters that would have been different if it was that. And that's one of those movies. But yeah, the behind the scenes featurettes, man, you got to love them. I still watch them to this day. Kind of sucky though, buying them digitally on Vudu and stuff. You don't get too many of those, which is kind of crappy. Some movies you do, some you don't, which is why I still like buying the physical discs because of stuff like that. So that's why the big movies like the MCU movies I'll always buy because of things like that. Disney does a great job on all theirs. You can watch it on their streaming service. You can watch the featurettes on theirs, which is
I was just going to say, some of the streaming services have gotten really wise to the fact that people enjoy these featurettes. So Disney Plus is one of those. I believe HBO Max to some degree is the other. It'll be nice when Netflix and the other ones jump on board because people want to see it. I want to see it.
Well, yeah, that's one of those big things of why you have the discs. Typically you bought them for the featurettes, the making ofs, interviews with the actors, things like that. Sometimes they include music videos. I remember Mission Impossible 2. One of the big reasons why I bought that was because at the time it had Metallica's I Disappear music video on there. So that was one of the keys to buying it. And not only was it a good movie for the time, but being a big fan of Metallica, it was like, oh, well, it's got the I Disappear music video on there. And it had Limp Bizkit's Take a Look Around, because that had a pretty good soundtrack.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we're talking behind the scenes featurettes. What's the best one? There is still time for you to chime in on our Facebook page. But with that being said, let's turn it over to the Stereo app, see what sort of craziness we can get in that regard.
Here we go.
All right. No. Of course, people are already skipping ahead. How's it going? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show.
Hello there.
Apparently not. All right. All right. You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are talking behind the scenes featurettes. Is there a movie or a TV behind the scenes? Well, it's funny. I get into the spiel and then they hang up.
Yeah. We'll just
How's it going? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show.
Great Scott!
For real?
For real.
Yeah. Hi.
So We're talking behind the scenes. Is there a movie or a TV show that you enjoyed the behind the scenes features of?
Well, I haven't really seen too much behind the scene things.
Do you like The Mandalorian?
I really want to see the only show that I really want to see behind the scenes is my favorite show.
And what's that?
And it's what is it?
Is it?
It's the new Power Rangers. It's Power Rangers Beef Morphers.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Very cool. Yeah, there's in fact the shows that made us, or the toys that made us on Netflix. You can get a little behind the scenes there, but we appreciate you chiming in. We're going to go ahead and move on.
Hey, you like beef morphers? Arby's is my favorite beef.
I got that too. How's it going? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show.
Don't be shy. You're on the radio. Go ahead and say hello.
All right, you're on the Kristian Fenix radio show. How you doing today?
Good.
Good. So we're talking behind the scenes features. Is there a TV or a TV show or a movie that you enjoyed the behind the scenes features for?
Yes. What?
Which movie or TV show would that be?
Mostly I'm thinking, I don't know, Venom.
Oh, Venom's a great one. They're as part of the Blu-ray, as part of the digital. You can certainly watch that, and that one's a fun one to watch.
Teen Titans Go. I watched the Teen Titans Go anime.
Oh, very cool. Anytime animated, behind the scenes, the voice actors, that's always a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you chiming in. We're going to keep moving on. Sounds like it is a 13-year-old day on stereo.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, he didn't start out motivated, but man, he had some good choices. So
yeah. And they've given some better answers than some of the adults. How you doing? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show.
Kristian?
That's me. How you doing today?
Not bad. Your name is Kristian?
It is. Yep. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are talking behind the scenes featurettes. Is there a movie or a TV show that you just love the behind the scenes for?
A movie or a TV show that I love behind the scenes?
Yeah, how they made it, maybe the bloopers, anything along those lines.
Oh yeah, do the right thing. You ever seen Do the Right Thing?
Spike Lee, one of his first movies, fantastic movie. I have seen the behind the scenes when I went to film school, in fact.
You seen the behind the scenes of Do the Right Thing?
Yeah, they had they documented everything, and obviously it's not as comprehensive as more modern movies, but it was wonderful to see Spike Lee at work with some wonderful actors.
What about the behind the scenes of Straight Outta Compton?
Haven't seen that. Well, I've seen the movie, haven't seen the behind the scenes, but that would be one definitely to check out. Ice Cube is a fantastic actor. Actually, his son was starred in that as Ice Cube. So,
what about the behind the scenes of the Holy Bible?
That one's a little bit harder to document, but it'd be interesting if somebody could capture that. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end it there because we've reached the end of our time. But
execute Order 66.
Appreciate
the Bible, buddy.
Appreciate everybody chiming in. When we come back, we've got a segment called Hippocratic Oath. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Go behind the scenes of the Bible.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes.
2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we've got a little thing we talk about a couple times each show. It is our 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever, including our topic of the day. That number is 855-PHOENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDIO or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. Speaking of topics of the day, tomorrow's topic is proud pet parent. When did your dog, your cat, your lizard, your bird, whatever, do something silly, ridiculous to make you a quote-unquote proud pet parent? Boy, that's going to be a hard one to say.
Proud pet parent.
And I can't wait for Tony to share his because it's
Triple P, proud pet.
Pretty hilarious. Exactly. So with this segment, which we've titled Hippocratic Oath, Tony, I wanted to start out with a question for you. What is the Hippocratic Oath?
The Hippocratic Oath is the oath. It's like oats for breakfast. It's Hippocratic Oaths now available in your local grocery store. Hippocratic Oath, I'm going to take a stab at it and say it's when you take the oath to be a damn hypocrite. You must be a hypocrite and backpedal on everything you stand for. No, that would be my guess. I don't really know what it means.
All right. Well, to be fair, the etymology of...
Etymology? Hey, like etymology. Also down in your local grocery store. Etymology.
It actually derives from the word hypocrisy, but oddly enough, it actually refers to the oath that doctors take to do no harm. And so in this segment, we're going to be talking about doctors who didn't take a patient seriously and what the consequences were with the segment.
Are you going to take us behind the scenes?
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. But just be sure to take us behind the scenes of the Holy Bible, would you?
Right.
I'm waiting the rest of the show for you to take me behind the scenes.
Only if I could get into the DeLorean and go to 88 miles per hour. So,
where's the Great Scott clip when you need it, San Filippo? There you go.
All right. Well, let's get rolling on with the segment that we're calling Hippocratic Oath.
Doctor?
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 And doctor.
What's up, Doc?
One of my favorite scenes from Spies Like Us. In any case, let's go ahead and start out with this first one from user Everyone is a Douchebag. All right. Maybe
you're so mean. Good Lord.
Says, when I was about 21, I went into preterm labor at 5.5 months and had a stillborn. About 8 hours later, the nurse brought my baby back in the room and told me that she was actually alive, that she was struggling to breathe, and would I like to hold her a while as she passed. And of course, I held her for another 8 hours. The doctor kept telling me she was dying. Her APGAR scores are low. She can't breathe. I finally fired him. I had another doctor come in, and after she checked her, they took her to neonatal intensive care, where she spent the next 4 months. Today, she's 26 with 2 sons.
That's great, man. That would have been like a Good News Friday segment for tomorrow's show. But it's just crazy. It just goes to show you can't always trust the first diagnosis. You always want to get a second opinion. 30 if you have to.
Yeah.
And if all 3 of them seem to be the same, then I guess that it is what it is. But awesome. That's a great one because it did not start out as a good story, sir.
No, but it has a nice uplifting ending. Let's keep moving on. Talking Hippocratic Oath.
Doctor?
Doctor?
Doctors who ignored serious consequences. This one from user Nicole90WV says, at 2 years old, my daughter started growing pubic hair, and I asked her pediatrician. He said it was just a burst of hormones, and I told him he was wrong. Wouldn't listen, wouldn't do any other tests. Fast forward, she's 4 years old. Now she's getting acne, really bad body hair on top of a full bush. Pediatrician says, yeah, that's kind of weird. 4 months later, sends us to an endocrinologist. He does one blood test and says, yeah, her male hormones are slightly less elevated. Okay. 10 months later, we get an MRI. She has a very large tumor growing on her adrenal gland, causing them to turn on. She had the male hormones of a 17-year-old boy at age 5. Fast forward another month, we've been at St. Jude's ever since. My daughter has stage 4 adrenal cancer, a very rare form of it as well. She almost died, but luckily she is persevering despite the original diagnosis. Again, things that could be severely worse, but, you get that second opinion, and, with any luck, she'll be able to get through it.
Yeah, I hope she's okay in all seriousness. I was going to say she'll go on to be Wolfsbane, if anything.
Well, we did a story at one point where, children's stomach medication, they put minoxidil or some hair growth thing in that, and kids were growing hair like, the werewolves left and right, and whole lawsuit and all of that.
Yeah, definitely sad. So hopefully that kiddo will be okay.
Yep. Let's keep moving on. Talking Hippocratic Oath.
Doctor?
Doctor?
Doctors who ignored serious consequences. Boy, I don't know why I'm struggling to get words out, especially in
words are hard. That was yesterday, but today, or what? We didn't do words are hard yesterday. We had a best of, but typically we say, sir, words are hard. So that's why you're doing it today.
Fair enough.
There you go.
This from user Get Lost Jenny. Says, when I was 15 when my daughter was born, and she was 4. And when she was, God, I'm telling you, words are hard. Let's start that over. In fact, I've even got a sound effect to rewind a little bit. Whew. All right.
Hello there.
I was 15 when my daughter was born, and when she was 4, she grew a large lump the size of a golf ball on the left side of her neck. I freaked out and took her to the hospital, where they were like, "Oh my God, it's totally normal. We'll just do a little incision and drain it." So they did, and it never healed. And every time I took her to the doctor, they rolled their eyes at the stupid teen mom who didn't know anything about healthcare and dismissed me. I started asking for referrals to the sick kids unit of the hospital, and they refused, like I was questioning their medical judgment. One day, I hooked my feet around the legs of a chair at the doctor's office and said, "I'm not leaving without a referral to sick kids." Doctor comes out and says, "Don't make me call security." I said, "Don't make me call the newspaper." He gave me a referral. I got her down to sick kids. She was diagnosed with atypical mycobacteria, all right, and cured within weeks. And again, it goes back to, you can't just brush it off. If you have this gut feeling that something's not right, keep going after it. Keep continuing. For me personally, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia at the age of 22, which not only was rare in males, but was rare in somebody of that age. But I was walking through life with so much pain. There were days I couldn't get out of bed, and doctors would tell me, "Oh, just deal with it. Just deal with it," until I finally found somebody who was able to confirm that it was fibromyalgia, get me on a treatment plan, and I'm happy, mostly healthy today.
That's good, man. You just never know. You never know when your body's going to turn on you or when you get something unexpected. So,
exactly. All right, and then finally, in Hippocratic Oath,
Doctor?
doctors who ignored serious consequences. This from Jazzy, oh so fresh. Said, "In college, I hurt my ankle, and after a few days of leaving it elevated, my calf was double the size of the other calf. I went to the emergency room, and they told me I had a muscle cramp and to just massage it out. I knew this couldn't be right because I've been playing softball for 17 years. I know what a muscle cramp is. I went to the next emergency room, and they told me again it was a muscle cramp and now accused me of just being a drug seeker. I go to the third emergency room, where they finally do a sonogram and find a blood clot in my calf, a blood clot in my groin. A piece dislodges and lands in my lung, giving me a pulmonary embolism. Had I massaged my calf the way the first 2 emergency rooms told me, I could have dislodged the blood clot, giving me a heart attack or a stroke. 10 years later, it took 10 years to find out that I have an autoimmune disorder that causes me to be prone to blood clots. Medicine fails again." And, blood clots are nothing to not take seriously. And again, if we've learned anything from this segment is if it doesn't feel right, if it's not looking right, get that second opinion, because you never know what could happen.
exactly. You want to be aware, trust your instinct, and definitely don't put it off.
Exactly. Well, with that being said, we are headed into the final segment of the show. Yes, it is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no, that's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison, why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. We made it to the final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Take that.
I'm touching myself tonight.
There you go.
While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends, because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring. I didn't have a yes or a no for you that time because I sent you a blooper on the break. Cause there's a blooper of Pedro Pascal doing a scene for Wonder Woman 84, and he's down on the ground and he rips a big old fart and he goes, "Oops, sorry, I farted." And she goes, "Yeah, I heard that." So good behind the scenes, just kind of ties in. That's why I didn't have a normal soundbite for you.
You know, we're trying on new names for you, Tony. I'm wondering if we shouldn't try Tony Squirrel.
Squirrel.
You make like a tree and get out of here.
With all that being said, let's go ahead and drop a little knowledge on you. Hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right, kicking off this day in history. This day in 1662, the first public bus service begins. Promoted by Blaise Pascal, operates in Paris as the Carrosses et Cinq Sous until 1675. Again, not exactly sure how they did this because this was well before motor vehicles. Was it just a very big horse-drawn carriage? Who knows?
We're going to take the bus by Blaise Pascal. It's called Blaze. Vroom, vroom, giddy up.
Moving on, this day in 1877, U.S. President Rutherford B. Hayes appoints Frederick Douglass Marshal of Washington, D.C. Frederick Douglass, a famous abolitionist. Great to see everything that he accomplished. I mean, we talk about him quite a bit in the segment, and he had quite the life.
My name is Rutherford B. Hayes, and I'm sending you a 5-cent stimulus check. Rutherford. The Rutherford bill.
Let's keep
If my
moving
name
on.
was Rutherford, that's how I'd say it. Rutherford.
Rutherford. Moving on, this day in 1881, Barnum and Bailey Circus, traveling as the greatest show on earth, debuts at Madison Square Garden, New York City, would last 146 years before closing just recently here in 2017. For the time, it was awesome, sort of the spectacle that they could bring, but the animal abuse, which is obviously one of the main reasons they closed down, was beyond repair.
Yeah, definitely. Once that got out, it was game over.
Yep. Yeah. 146 years later.
Yeah, they got cancel culture before cancel culture was cool.
Exactly. Let's keep rolling on. We're talking this day in history. This day in 1902, Italian operatic tenor Enrico Caruso becomes the first well-known performer to make a record. As we know, that was about the time that Thomas Edison patented his record spindle, and that would have been something to hear as your own voice coming back at you on vinyl.
I am Enrico Caruso. I am good to see you sing.
Is he Russian?
No! But could be if you want me to, yeah.
Let's keep rolling on. This day in 1922, British magistrates in India sentenced Mahatma Gandhi to 6 years imprisonment for disobedience.
How dare you? 6 years of prison for you, Gandhi.
That's a huge prison sentence for not doing what you're told.
Yep. Nowadays, it just gets you a slap on the hand.
Or less. All right, moving on. This day in 1942, two black players, Jackie Robinson and Nate Moreland, request a tryout with the Chicago White Sox, and they're allowed to work out with them. Of course, Jackie Robinson, the first African-American player to make it into Major League Baseball and change the game forever.
Yeah, well, that's Chicago White Sox loss, man. I mean, hindsight 2020, but great to see that Jackie Robinson would go on and, make history. But never heard of Nate Moreland, though.
No. Unfortunately, he's been lost to time, at least as far as his name goes. But good on him for being a trailblazer.
Yeah.
And not in Portland. All right, moving on. This day in 1959, U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower signs Hawaii statehood bill. So it was this day that Hawaii became our 50th state or 49th. I forget what came first, Alaska or Hawaii.
That's a good question. But nonetheless, Hawaii, fantastic state. Definitely encourage everyone to go visit. It's been a while since I've been there. So
yeah,
I think 2006 was the last time.
I'd love to go back. Maybe we'll go there on our honeymoon when we finally get married. But let's keep rolling on. This day in 1965, cosmonaut Alexei Leonov, leaving his spacecraft Voskhod 2 for 12 minutes, becomes the first person to walk in space. Again, that's something I would not want to be the very first person to do because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
No, you don't want to be the guinea pig.
No.
And Hawaii was the 50th state. So
was it? Okay. All right. So Alaska came before that, but I couldn't tell you when. So thank you for updating us on that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Let's keep rolling. This day in 1985, Commissioner Peter Uberoth reinstates Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle. And again, this is one where I want more information.
Yeah.
Reinstate them for what reason?
Were they banned? I never knew they were banned.
I didn't either. Did they pull a
They're two icons. They're icons of the business there.
We'll put it this way. I wouldn't mind having either of their rookie cards.
No doubt, right?
All right, moving on. This day in 1989, the California Quake amusement ride opens at Universal Studios as part of the Backlot Tour. That one is fun, where you're in the subway station and everything starts shaking and the train comes through, splits into pieces, water comes rushing down, fire everywhere. Just a staple of that.
Yeah, the Backlot Tour is fantastic. That's something that Florida's doesn't have. I wish they did because that Backlot Tour is cool. But in fact, you never know. Sometimes you see celebrities back there too. I saw Lauren Graham back there one time.
No kidding.
And I think that was, I don't know if that was with you or if that was with the Nameless one. I think remember.
The Nameless one, because I definitely don't remember that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, old Lorelei was back there. She waved to the crowd. So,
Well, let's keep rolling on. This day in 1991. Mike Tyson beats Razor Ruddock in the 7th round.
Yes, I beat Razor Ramon. That's right. I told the bad guy I knocked him out in the 7th round. I smacked Razor Ramon around with my fist, my lightning fast fist.
Different circle square, but
Yeah.
in any case, let's keep rolling. This day in 1991, the Philadelphia 76ers retire Wilt Chamberlain's number 13 jersey. Why so long afterwards? I mean, that guy did everything, broke every record in the time that he played.
Yeah, you had to wait. You had to wait till 91 to do it.
Right. And my favorite number 13. So
there you go.
All right, moving on. This day in 1992, Donna Summer gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Tony, what's your favorite Donna Summer song?
Drawing a blank there.
Oh, that famous song, Drawing a Blank. I love that.
Drawing a blank. I pictured Donna Summer, and I couldn't tell you a song she sings. I just know she's from the disco era. And I could even be wrong about that. I don't know. Wasn't she a part of the Supremes?
I think she might have been. I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
I don't know.
Let's keep rolling. This day in 1990. Michael Jordan announces he is ending his 17-month NBA retirement. Yeah, he retired, came back, joined baseball, came back as a manager, then as an owner, and he's like Brett Favre, just couldn't make up his mind.
Yeah, this was a bad comeback because he ended up coming back and playing for the Washington Wizards at the time. Forgettable run for sure.
Yeah. And then finally, in this day in history, this day in 2002, the Ramones are inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Back when actual rock and roll bands got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Now it's all about Lady Gaga.
Or Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan, she's a hard rocker.
All right, folks. Well, before we head out for the day, let's run down some of today's holidays, shall we? Where we like to talk about the things that, well, we celebrate. For instance, today is Absolute Incredible Kid Day. Hey, I didn't know they made a holiday about my kiddos.
Yeah, and your kiddos too. If you're watching, if you have kids, you have amazing kids.
They're absolutely incredible.
They are super incredible.
It was awkward, or it is Awkward Moments Day. We've had a few of those today.
Pedro Pascal when he blew ass on the set of Wonder Woman 84.
Yep. It is Companies That Care Day. Well, we care about you guys. That's why sharing is caring. Today is Forgive Mom and Dad Day. Ooh, hope you don't need that one.
I'm good with them both.
Here's one. It's National Lacey Oatmeal Cookie Day.
Hi, Lacey.
It is National Biodiesel Day. All right.
Okay.
It is National Sloppy Joe Day.
Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe.
It is Goddess of Fertility Day. So if you're trying to get pregnant, it might be one to look into a little bit more carefully. It is Supreme Sacrifice Day. Tony, make that supreme sacrifice, won't you?
Taco's going down. Taco Supreme.
And then finally, it is Oranges and Lemons Day. So make lemons out of lemonade.
I'll celebrate that by eating orange chicken at Panda tonight. Panda Thursday.
Folks, that does it for this Thursday episode. We will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode on a Friday, meaning it's good news, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you all tomorrow.
Peace.